Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Carolyn Maria, working as an assistant professor in Loyola College of Education, Chennai. The title of the course is Childhood and Growing Up, which comes under Course 1. We are going to learn Unit 8 Play and Child Development. This video lecture is going to focus on the different aspects of play, like meaning and characteristics, kinds, play activities of childhood, benefits of children play, factors affecting children play, and what are the control measures. So, at the end of the video lecture, the learner will be able to understand the role of play in child development with regard to all the dimensions. Let's learn what is play. Play is an activity which will engage the children to go for having fun. There is a difference between play and games. Play does not have strict rules and regulations to be followed. Rather, games has strict rules and regulations to be followed. That is the major difference between the play and games. So, play is a range of voluntary, intrinsically motivated activities normally associated with recreational pleasure and enjoyment among the children. Play reflects what a child already knows, has observed, and can do. Play provides the context to build and extend the knowledge, skills, and understanding in a way that only will make sense to them and that will make sense for the entire world. Play forms the foundation for learning and growth. Whatever we are teaching through play, we can achieve the goal. Play is a fundamental need and for the overall growth and development for the children. It will allow the children to express their feelings, their emotions. It is the best way for the child to learn, as learning is not just remembering, it is remembering as well as even understanding. So through play, we can help the students to understand what we teach. What are the reasons for play? The main reason is children help them with one another. So it helps the children to learn about the world and the society. It helps them to solve their own problems first of all. So through play, they just come across with the problem solving ability, decision making ability, creativity, imagination, cognition, and with regard to all the dimensions as social dimension, moral dimension, and emotional dimension of development. Play can be used to deepen the understanding of what is taught in the classroom. It enhances the language capacity, it improves the cultural development. It is an important part of the classroom because it helps the students in a way that other pedagogy and strategies cannot do. So through play, you can help the students to enjoy. And play assures the all-round development, not only the cognitive development. Learning is associated with the cognitive development alone. When learning is incorporated with play, play helps a person to go for all the other five dimensions of development. Let's focus on the principles of play. As I told you already, there is a difference between play and games. Play has no such rules and regulation to be strictly followed. Children join together and they can choose their own play method, and it is self-directed. And it is a voluntary action by the children joining together to make some sense for themselves as well as to the other participants in the play. So their play is mostly with regard to having fun, enjoy, and it is guided by their own mental rules. When you observe small children sitting and playing, they have hundreds of rules, but not very strict rules to be followed. According to their whims and fancies, the rules are flexible. They just change the rules. It will be very pleasurable moment to see and observe the small kids sitting and playing with their own other siblings or otherwise the neighborhood people. So play should be spontaneous, flexible, and creative according to the choice of the students. Play offers the ability for children to explore in a low risk environment. What are the characteristics of play? Play makes the children to be very active. Children use their body, mind in the play by interacting with the environment, interacting with other people, as well as even with the material. For example, you take hide and seek. Children will be just running around with regard to this hide and seek in order to find. So here they are applying their mind to find where the hidden person is. So all five dimensions of development are possible in play. It is an adventurous and risky also to some extent. This type of play involves the children to explore the unknown new concept also. For example, lock and key. And play helps them to go for a lot of communication. Play presents a natural opportunity for the children to share the information and knowledge. So it automatically happens. Children can communicate verbally using words, or they can use their own body language through non-verbal cues. For example, dumb charades, Chinese whisper, all these are helping them to go for a good communication. Play is enjoyable, as I have told you already, because it will give them a lot of excitement. When you allow the children to play, you can see them freaking out with bubbling with a lot of enthusiasm, and they keep laughing among themselves. So it is helping them to have humor. Instead of playing with to win, children should be enjoying play to have fun. So this is what we are supposed to focus on. And you can see them having 100% involvement in play because it is chosen by them. When they come home, they'll be 100% exhausted because till the last drop of energy they just spend with regard to their play. It is meaningful according to them. Play provides a lot of opportunities for children to make sense of their world, and these experiences help the children to build their own knowledge and test new theories with regard to developing skill. For example, you take some Lego set, puzzles and all, they use their brain to think differently to form creative ideas in order to perform the task in puzzle. Play helps a person to become very sociable as well as interactive person. It presents a unique opportunity for children to exchange their social interaction and build their relationship with one another as well as even to the adults. They'll come and seek permission from the adults. And it is one way it is symbolic. In the sense, you could see them imitating the elders with regard to teacher student play, doctor patient play, Barbie set play, cooking set play. All these are laying foundation for the understanding of themselves as well as even to the larger world. In one way, it is helping the students, the children, to become very comfortable by because it is therapeutic. Play can be a natural way for the children to relieve the stress. If the children are having some mood upset, if they are crying, if you are allowing them to play, they forget everything. So it will work through their different emotions and experiences. So it has to be self chosen. You cannot force any child to go and play. Rather, it has to be self chosen, spontaneous with regard to their own change of ideas, and they can alter and manipulate their own ideas and rules and regulation with regard to the play. What are the different kinds of play? We'll go one after the other. The first one is functional play. Functional play is a play where you can see repetitive movements will be there. When new skills are being learned, we see one after the other with regard to the age. Infants and toddlers, you could see, they could just grasp whatever you have in your hand. For example, a mobile or a toy, whatever you have in your hand, you keep see these kids will be just keep on repeatedly trying to grab the things from you. So that is what called as functional play. When you see the preschool children, they would be just repeating all these puzzles or pattern in the pegboard. So repetitive movement will be there. With regard to the school children, you can see the same sort of activity again and again being repeated by them. Catch and throw or doing some acrobatics. So all these are activities they keep doing again and again, which is called as functional play. The next one is symbolic play. So here symbolic in the sense pretending or acting, imitating. That is what is called a symbolic play. Use of imagination with regard to the role play to transform themselves as well as the objects to satisfy their own need. For example, you can take this infants, toddlers and all, they would be pretending to drink milk from a baby bottle, and you can see them just playing with their own toy, doll. They would pretend to be the mother and the toy would be the child. So that sort of mother and the child play they may go with. And early symbolic play represent with regard to the mental activities that transform from one object to the other object. They won't be comfortable playing with the same set of playthings every day. Every day they would ask for new things to play. If we are not provided with much of play materials, they may take even whatever the household articles available. With that, even they will just go for play. So later on, what happens? This mental representation that transform from earlier it was transforming from the object to the other person, then it will transform from the self to the object. Then the preschoolers, you can see them pretending as if some Lego set, if they are playing, if the car is broken, they pretend to fix it. And you could see small kids making some juice or chapati or any food items. They would just come and serve us. And doctor child patient, doctor patient play also, you can see having them checking the body with the help of the stethoscope, thermometer, etc. and all. So when it goes for the school aged children, they may have secret codes, and they have a lot of secret codes and different communication. For example, different cook-up language they may just go with. They may add or add some prefix or suffix with regard to some words, and they just go with, which will not be understood by the adults very easily. So this sort of play is called a symbolic play. The next play is called constructive play. Here what happens, children will use all their brain properly with regard to manipulation of the objects and materials to make something which is meaningful. So they combine the functional play of repetitive activity with a symbolic representation put together. They just go for a constructive play. It occurs when children regulate their own creative ideas and they go for a lot of conservation of construction of different ideas. For example, the preschoolers and the kindergarten children, if you see, they'll construct a hospital room for a sick animal with the Lego set, building block things and all. And school age children, you can see them creating an exhibition to project their whatever they have done, whatever they have studied. So they'll do it as a project, or they'll just project everything whatever they have done, and they would just go for virtual games, and they'll just take all the materials at home, they display everything, and they can even just go for a shop. Okay, so that customer and the shopkeeper, so like that of play also they just go with, by which their mental ability is constructed here. Another kind of play is children can play with some simple rules and regulation which are called as the games. You can see them being very active with predetermined rules which are goal oriented, and they may have a competition. You can see them playing with this hide and seek, musical chair, antakshari, or playing with marbles, or conducting some simple relay races, who comes first. All these are the simple play they just go with. What are the play activities of childhood? Even without anything also, they just pretend to have something in imaginary, and they do play. For example, you can see them playing with this old milk containers, wooden spoon, empty pot, plant container, stick, or even paper, plastic bucket, saucepan, old cloths. All this they use, and if nothing is available also, they use their own imagination to play. And the zigzag puzzles and the matching games are helping them to improve their memory and concentration. When they are playing with this clay, the fine motor skills are developed. Eye and hand coordination will be there. And when you see them just playing with any antakshari or dance or with music, all this will help them to enjoy and have fun. And you can see them playing with ball, frisbee. That will encourage them to go for a kicking, throwing, rolling, running, jumping, and all that. And homemade obstacle courses can get the child moving in a different way, different direction and speed, because all the houses are not provided with enough space for the children to go and play. It may restrict, so the household environment makes us an obstacle for the children to play. You can see them playing chess, carom and all, which are helpful for cognitive development, and crossword puzzle, once again cognitive and physical development. Word games, memory games, word building and all that will improve their physical and cognitive development. Snake and ladder, building blocks, physical and cognitive development. Business and mechanic games and all with regard to their social development, because they'll even talk to other people. They may have so many participants in play, and it will help them to go for very good social and cognitive development. These are some of the indoor sports. Outdoor play and games will 100% give all-round development in children. Let me give you some examples for outdoor play. Hopping, cricket, shuttle, coco, lock and key, running race, hide and seek, kabaddi, cycling, seven stones, skating, swimming, shooting, long and high jump, catch and catch, football, are all these are helping the students to go for an all-round development. These are some other examples of outdoor sports. Let's now discuss what are the benefits of play. Play helps them to go for very good developed memory skills, because even simple hide and seek or any puzzle, that will enable them to go for very good improvement of memory skills. Language development is possible. It regulates their regular behavior, and they may come across with very good adjustment in school because they play with their own uh, neighborhood friends. That will help them to adjust with their schoolmate also. It will enhance their academic learning because their whole body is becoming active because of play, so the brain is very energetic to learn, so it will improve the academic learning, provided we should curtail the children to number of hours of play. So you should have a proper schedule for allowing them to play. They should not completely get themselves exhausted in play and come home and they should not be able to do the homework. It will build the relationship among the other children. Play helps them to resolve their own conflict, because every now and then they come across with a lot of conflict with their siblings or with their playmates. Then within no time they just go and talk to them, so it helps them to resolve the conflict, and it helps them to go for a very good physical development. It is a stress release. It will build the confidence level. They can see them feeling loud, happy, safe, and it develops the social skill, language skill and communication. They learn about caring for others as well as even the environment. With regard to specific terminology, we just discussed the benefit of play. With regard to education, play helps children to learn and build skills that lay the foundation for learning to read, write, as well as to do mathematics. With regard to social skills, it provides opportunities to socialize with peers of the same age and to learn and understand others as well as to communicate and negotiate. This business game and all will help them to go for a negotiation. With regard to cognitive development, it play helps the children to learn, imagine, categorize and solve their own problem. With regard to therapeutic benefits, play helps the children to have a soothed feeling. So it gives children the opportunity to express their troubling aspects of their daily life, including their stress, trauma and family conflicts, as well as even the other dilemmas, by which play helps them to become a very knowledgeable, enjoyable and freaking out children. What are the factors which affect the children play? When we are discussing the factors, simultaneously let us discuss what are the measures we can take to overcome the factors. First of all, with regard to the physical health, if the child is having some sickness, illness, or if the child is lazy or fatigue, that affects the child's play. So, in order to avoid that, we need to take good care of the health of the children. When the child is having an emotional problem with regard to peer conflict or sibling conflict or parental fight or some mood upset if the child is having, that will affect the children play. So in order to avoid that, we need to provide proper emotional support to the children. With regard to parental support, parents are expected to support the children with regard to play. They should not be very strict and they should not be telling the children not to play at all in order to have safety and security so that they can sit in front of TV in the presence of them and they can be all alone like either with the mobile games or video games like that. Parents should not do like that. Rather, parents are expected to encourage and support the children to go out and play in order to spend all their energy. Same way with regard to community also. If you are living in an apartment, they come across with a lot of problems. The other tenants or other people will come across with a lot of problems saying that they are not comfortable since the children are screaming and shouting and playing and that is disturbing their sleep and all. So if people come across with like that type of complaints, we need to provide proper guidance to the children how to play and how to be having a very good social recognition. Some children may be having a personality problem with regard to this introvert personality because they may feel very comfortable being all alone rather going and talking to other people. So they are less sociable. In this case, we need to just go for constant interaction with those children in order to make them to become a sociable child. Then lack of proper ambience at school as well as at home will prevent the children from play. So as parent as well as teachers, we are supposed to provide good play environment to the children. The next one is lack of time. Parent may say that the children has to go for extra coaching classes with regard to abacus class or some tuition or some other activities they need to go with, and they may not have enough time to play. What we are supposed to do is we need to allot different time for different activities. We need to go for a proper schedule. So by giving them proper time to play daily will enable them to become a healthy citizen. Let's discuss on the key takeaways of this video lecture. Play helps the children to build different type of skills. Play provides opportunities to socialize with peers and elders. Play enhances all-round development in children. It enhances the decision making and problem solving skills. What are the points for reflection from this video lecture? Analyze any two important problems in a community which affect the children play. As a parent, how will you provide a conducive play environment for your child? These are some of the books for your further reading. Thank you for listening, students. Wish you all good luck.